Well, why? Why isn't the switch turning off when it's done?
Because
Same thing in the body because chronic back pain and all this other kind of stuff, back injuries heal, yet the inflammation remains. Why
so
is
the
it?
thing, so the point that we're going to point out is that this system of the immune response or the anti-inflammatory response of the brain is modulated by the glymphatic system. So hindrance to the glymphatic system is the underlying cause of prolonged neuroinflammation. Because if the glymphatic system was functioning properly, everything would be washed out every day. So inflammation could turn back on and then turn off, and turn back on and then turn off.
But what is your hypothesis why it's not working properly in modern day humans?
Okay, so so let's think of it this way. This head is really dependent on the body to carry it around and give it positive, good things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anything that is blocking that lymphatic system inside the human is going to hurt the brain. And any type of so it's just like this. Any restriction in capillary perfusion, any restriction in the amount of activity of the cells that are involved in it, and any restriction in the activity of the cells and systems that are removing it. And that can be your liver, that can be your gut, that could be your poop, that could be your spleen, could be your musculoskeletal system. Mm-hmm. So multifactorial, but it jimmies right down to their sleep and their gut, and then how much perfusion you can get to the brain. So the way I see you influencing it is you're going to be, it's like let's just think of it this way. It's like a plugged toilet, right? So you're going to go in there with a big plunger and plucka, 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 but there's no flush really. You loosened everything up. You're going to have some activity there, but there's no real flush or water coming in. And as I said, the septic system might be full. So that's kind of like a wing and a prayer, basically. What I'm suggesting is that, let's say you get a signal. Let's say you make a change. And what I'm suggesting is the way to make this work in the long run on a simple basis is use the light, home light therapy, kind of the pads that we've designed to increase the flow in the neck, increase the flow in the head, increase the flow in the intranasal system, which will affect right here. We can get right to here and we can change it right there. So my next thing would end, so the flow in and the flow out. So that's how you're going to really give a couple of flushes a day to the system. And then it really works on the functional medicine aspects about cleaning out the gut and, massage and all the stuff to get their lymphatic system going, because that's basically it. You're just swimming in the same soup, the neuroinflammatory soup. You can't really, nothing's helping the brain. And the question is, how much actually are we going to help the brain with the laser light in office one time, or doing it in the evening, in the morning when you're pumping the circadian system and you're pumping helping with the sleep and everything like that. So that's kind of that's my system. That's what I'm kind of good at. So the question that would come up next, once you get your experimental setup and you can get a signal that you changed that excessive, beta spindles, then we can try it with the intranasal LED and see if we can make a change on that too, because it's a little, it's not nowhere near as powerful, but it's proven to be effective. Yeah, it's proven to be effective. One of the things that we, can state is that we know that the red and infrared intranasal could create a change in the viscosity of the blood to make it flow better. So all along, we know that we're going to increase circulation by that, increase blood flow by that. And perhaps that's one of the things that the brain parenchyma and tissue need to loosen up the sediments, if you will.
Right.
So, you know, we're right there therapeutically. It's just, you know, it's just like gathering the data on this.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to have, and I've got several brains we could work on like that have the big F1 and F2s, spindling excessive beta, and then we've got a ability to measure the progress and how much it's reduced. And yeah, I think it's something that's got a lot of viability, especially if, you know, we're linking this to the marker.
That's correct.
I think that's a great point. Now, one of the things that I've been seeing, though, that could be a inhibitor is if, for instance, we got somebody with mold toxicity that has spindling excessive beta, and you remove, and you haven't got the mold out of the system yet, then you're still trying to put out fire with water with a gasoline hose still spraying on it. So
now let me explain it to you. Let me explain to you. I put some thought into this, and I want to come right back to it. I'm sorry that I have it's tough to argue with me because I seem to have the trump card, the irrefutable.
Well, that's why I keep asking the questions, you know. It's
So,
easy to come up with the answers if you have the questions.
think about this. Think about this. So we have all these people running around with Lyme disease. We have all these people running around with mold. We have all these people running around with prions. We have all these people running around with virus. All these people running around with all this stuff in the brain. And if you step back and you say, what the heck, Dr. Ron, are all these guru cure people? What are they actually trying to do? They're trying to auto-regulate the immune system based on the disease process and not the healing physiology. So the only reason that stuff stays in the brain is
because it can't get out.
Because it can't get out. So when you activate the glymphatic system, watch how powerful the healing power of this brain is. It is the number one thing for our survivability, and I'm pretty sure that God and his creator put mechanisms in play to get this thing to work right. So I would say, I hate to be the guy with the big hammer, but the glymphatic system is the final common pathway to neurodegenerative neuroinflammatory diseases. And they don't really comprehend this. They're going to go at it from a disease perspective. And you have to go at it from a healing physiology.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. If we've got the downstream blocked, you're going to be screwed until you get that freed up.
That's right. That's why the intranasal is right. The intranasal and the retinal, areas are the gateway. They are the drain plug. You pull it and everything drains into the neck. But if your neck is tight and you've got all this stuff there and your chest, you don't breathe, and you don't move, and you don't sweat, you don't do anything, guess what? You're still screwed. You're just, getting it out of the brain, which is good, but the markers aren't out of your body. You have to get them out of your brain and out of your body. So that's kind of, what I'm pointing out is that I think I got the system, and I think I got the way to fix it. And it's pretty cool because, we can measure all these parameters and take a step, watch it moving. So, I think that's the final common pathway. That's the whole thing. Is what doesn't really matter. It's all, like you say, neuroinflammation.